Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy, Golden Falls, Golden What If, whatever you want to call me. And I'm back. This is actually not a Blue Lock What If. For those who love the Blue Lock stuff, don't worry, it's not going away. I just had this video on the back burner for so long. So I was like, you know what? I gotta do it. I've been wanting to do it. And yeah, I wanted to say sorry for the lack of uploads the last couple days. Everything kind of like went to hell really quickly. I kind of got sick for a little bit. I've been dealing with this like toothache, and then also my power went out last night. So it's kind of all been hitting at the same time, but we're good, we're here, and I'm here with part 1 of What If Tanjiro Was Trained by Yoriichi's Spirit. And yeah, if you enjoy, show some love, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. And yeah, if y'all really show some love to part 1, you will see part 2 pretty quickly. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. And let's get right into the what if. Let's get it. Tanjiro Kamado. He's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. But even nice people have horrible things happen to him. Or happen to them. One day, when Tanjiro was going down to another village to sell charcoal and get some money for the new year for his family, this good deed would go punished. This good deed would flip on its head drastically. When Tanjiro would go down, sell some of the charcoal, nighttime would then strike. He would go to sleep within someone's home that is extremely nice to him, but the next morning he would race up the hill, the mountain that his family lived on, but when he got to the top, he smelt blood. Blood would begin to just show itself all around. Tanjiro would go running, chasing toward whatever that is, and eventually he would find his entire family dead. Tanjiro would be broken, shattered, but his remorse and his sadness and his grief would have to be put away for now, because he could see that his little sister Nezuko was breathing just a little bit. He would run over, picking her up, trying to run off with her to save her, but eventually she would awaken and she would force them off a cliff. They would fall, and Nezuko would turn on Tanjiro, trying to attack him over and over and over again. Tanjiro would stop her, and eventually this swift breath of air, it seems as if a gust of wind grabs Nezuko instantly, and it's Tomioka. Tomioka, the water Hashira, the Hashira of the Demon Slayer, stands there with the blade to Nezuko's neck. But Tanjiro would plead not to kill his baby sister. Don't kill his sister, that they are family. And, well, Tomioka would tell him, scream at him, that this is no longer his sister. This is a demon that will kill you without hesitation. And Tomioka tells him that if he wants to save his sister, he better fight for his sister. With a show of a pretty amazing intelligence, Tanjiro would reveal something that Tomioka would be impressed by. In this reveal, he throws his axe in the sky while charging at Tomioka, as the axe almost hits Tomioka directly in the face, but he dodges it with his quick reflexes. But this would be proof enough to Tomioka that he would give over Nezuko, or at least knock them both out, and then give over Nezuko and allow him to travel to his master's, well, Urokodaki, for training. In which that's exactly what Tanjiro would do. Tanjiro would take Nezuko. Eventually, after learning what Tomioka has said and where he should go, he would take Nezuko away, and he would bring her to this little farm to basically get her in a basket. Once put in a basket, they go over to where Urokodaki lives. But before that, he would run into another demon. This other demon would then begin to fight them and begin to try and basically kill and eat Tanjiro. But of course, they would fight them off, or he would fight them off, and Nezuko would kind of help as well to a certain extent. But then eventually, Urokodaki would show his face, and this was the start of everything for Tanjiro. Tanjiro would learn from Urokodaki that there is a process to this, that he needs to train, get stronger, get better, get faster, everything. and he would begin learning from Urokodaki how to use a sword, how to use basically breathing, and he begins learning how to use water breathing. But after a lot of training, and a ton of it you could say, he would eventually get to the point that there was nothing else for him to learn to a certain extent, that this was now time for him to train on his own. But this time around, it would not just be Sabito and Makomo, it would be someone different. Makomo and Sabito would be there for a little bit, but then eventually they would disappear. And of course, Tanjiro would be confused by this. How did they just disappear? What just happened? I mean, he's worried about them. And he would even bring this up to Urokodaki. It's been days since he's seen them, but Urokodaki would say that there is no people around here for miles. And that those people, well, he only knows them because they were former students of his. Urokodaki would cry underneath his mask, but he wouldn't say much more to Tanjiro. He would be confused at the fact that their spirits are still lingering. Maybe they're just trying to help Tanjiro. And who knows what spirits are currently still lingering, maybe to help this boy evolve into something greater, and into something that can stop the demons forever. The next time Tanjiro goes out to train, another spirit would arrive, but this spirit looks so different. This spirit was very similar to his father, looked very similar to his father, but he looked very youthful, very, very, very strong, very fast, very healthy. He would look at him and he wouldn't say a word, but he would begin to kind of signal to Tanjiro to begin mimicking his movements, the way he swings a sword, the way he uses his breathing. And for months on end, he would continue to mimic this person and continue to train, but words would never come out of his mouth. But eventually, one day, right before he's ready to go on and go off to his next portion of his true Demon Slayer training, the person would reveal himself. He would reveal himself as Yoriichi, the one that almost slayed Muzan so long ago, the king of all the demons, the one that murdered Tanjiro's family. Tanjiro would learn of this and hear this, and he would just know that this person must be a spirit that is trying to guide him into the realm of killing Muzan. And eventually the training would get more serious. Even with only a day left, it seems like the training has been extremely fruitful. And when Tanjiro would say his goodbyes and Yoriichi would disappear, it felt as if a part of Yoriichi was still there with him. Tanjiro would slice the boulder in half very easily, in fact, and he would lay down, go to sleep for the next night, and when he would wake up, he would see something across his face. It seems as if his scar that was on his face has expanded, but not expanded to the way you would think. He looks very similar to the way Yoriichi looks, in which Urokodaki would see this and he would be completely shocked. He didn't know that Tanjiro would even be able to develop something like this. This is absolutely insane. This has transcended anything he's ever done. And Urokodaki would tell him to not worry about water breathing, only worry about sun breathing, the breathing style that he's been learning throughout this entire time. And it's obvious that he has all the movements for it, and it seems as if Tanjiro's only expanding his arsenal wider and wider as they go. He already has the first 4 forms, and it's absolutely amazing the progression Tanjiro has already gained and the skill he's already showing. Urokodaki doesn't want to tell him this, but it's obvious that Tanjiro is far beyond most Demon Slayers, if not just below Hashira level at this moment. He's just impressed, completely impressed. And when he takes off for the final selection, he has no doubt in his mind that Tanjiro would absolutely kill every demon within that forest. As Tanjiro awaits the signal to enter the forest, he sees 2 twin women, it looks like, but he doesn't know exactly who they are. They speak in sync, telling them about what's going to happen and how long they have to survive. All this time, Tanjiro can only think about one thing, and that's killing every last demon within here. He knows what happened to Makomo and Sabito. He wants his revenge. He wants to show off exactly what he's capable of, strike fear into the eyes of all these demons. And let's just say, these demons are petrified. because once he enters, it's as if Yoriichi himself is walking through. They know that it's not technically him, but they see these memories rushing through their minds of this person. He looks just like him. And let's just say the two people that were the entries, the people that introduced the final selection, were already sending their crows off to tell them, or to tell the Hashira, that there's one person already here that is just like him, just like Yoriichi. Tanjiro would slay every last demon within that forest though, killing one after another, and eventually coming across the hand demon. The hand demon can see that his little earrings, his little ear decorations are just like those other kids, but the hand demon wouldn't see the visuals until it was too late. Tanjiro would come barreling down, and he would use the Himokumi Kagura, the first form of sun breathing, and he would more or less absolutely obliterate the hand demon. And it would be super easy for him. Very basic. Tanjiro would destroy him in a couple slashes, if not just one slash that was really needed. And he just dances through the nights, multiple nights, killing demon after demon. He visualizes it just like how his father would visualize, or have the visualization of his father dancing, and also all the techniques that he saw with Yoriichi. This was now his training. This week was all his training combined, and he would continue to get better and better. He would master his first, second, third, fourth form, of course, but then he would begin going on to his fifth and sixth and seventh forms, continuing more and more and more as he continues to master more and more of these forms. Eventually, he wants to do it exactly how Yoriichi could. He's seen an example of it. Yoriichi uses every single form in unison as if it's one after another. Something absolutely beautiful. A constant form, a 13th form, you can say, that only Yoriichi was able to master during this time. Well, frankly, Yoriichi was one of the only sun breathers like ever. So at the end of the day, Tanjiro wants to take his learnings, take his chances, and he wants to make sure that he can prepare himself to the drastic point that he could save his sister Nezuko, but also take down the one who killed his parents, or killed his parent and killed his other siblings. After the final selection is finally over, he stands there with all the other demon slayers. Most of them feel as if they didn't earn it, because let's be honest, they did not earn it. Tanjiro obliterated through this place and absolutely killed almost every single demon, if not every single demon. But of course, there's people there like Kanao and some other strong demon slayers that were able to kind of kill demons on their own as well. But Tanjiro did do the heavy lifting, and everybody gets through, everybody, even if they don't deserve it. Eventually, he would choose his Nichirin, what he wants, and of course, he would stop a young boy that more or less tried to hurt the two looking children, even though they're not really children. But that's beyond the point. Tanjiro would easily stop him and just kind of walk away. But everybody knows, at least from the Hashira mansion, exactly who Tanjiro is, what he's capable of, and what he's been up to already. And they feel that they need to get him there ASAP. But the only issue is that that was the mission for Kanao, but it seems as if Tanjiro's already gone. He was gone so quickly. It's actually kind of crazy how fast he just decided to up and leave, but it must be for a reason. I mean, it's obvious that he wanted to leave for a reason and be gone really quickly. And Kanao would eventually tell them this, and the mission for her is to hunt him down and find him. And it shouldn't be too difficult with their crows, but during this time, Tanjiro's back with Urokodaki. They're all happy that he survived, and Nezuko is finally awake once again. So this is just kind of like a celebration, especially right before he sends off his Nichirin to get his brand new sword. And when his sword would finally arrive, they would all think that it's gonna be some red sword, which this time around they would be correct. He would grab the sword and it would be this red, but it would be far different than you think. It's reminiscent of Yoriichi's blade. It's a red blade, and like a dark red blade. It's not like the fire Hashira or the flame Hashira's blade. This is so much different. It's way different to the point that, well, let's just say they're all taken back by this. They knew Tanjiro was talented. They knew that he was capable of such insane feats, but this is just far different. This is way different. It's as if his blade was just supposed to be this sun, this absolute sun, and it's crazy to think about, because even the blacksmith that brings over the blade, he says that this is not like Rengoku's. This is different. It's as if his blade might be even more potent to killing demons, and this is exactly what it would be. It's as if his black blade that once was, the one that was supposed to be a black Nichiren blade, is no longer the black Nichiren blade. The color of the blade resembles not only his sun breathing, but also his potency to just destroy and decapitate demons. Both Urokodaki and the blacksmith are extremely impressed, and Tanjiro would tell them that he's glad that they helped him so much, especially Urokodaki. His last gift from Urokodaki would be a small box for Nezuko. He would put Nezuko within the box, putting it on his back, and he would begin leaving. He would tell Urokodaki that he'll miss him very much, and he appreciates the symbol that he's created for him, and the person that he is right now is because of him. As Tanjiro walks away, even Urokodaki sees glimpses of Yoriichi in every step that Tanjiro takes. It seems as if the spirit of Yoriichi truly came to him and trained the boy. And who knows, he may continue to train the boy and continue to mold him into something greater. Maybe this right here is the thing that Yoriichi wanted. He decided that he didn't want to go to the afterlife and be with his loved ones. He'll stay here for the next sun breather and be there to help him all along the way, which is a beautiful thing for Yoriichi to do, because in a way he'll be able to defeat Muzan even in the afterlife. Tanjiro would eventually go to his first little quest, and his first quest would be pretty simple. I mean, he arrives and he learns of this demon, this swamp demon that keeps popping in and out, stealing women, and Tanjiro says that he'll await the arrival of the swamp demon and kill him, and to not worry that he'll try and save the lost women. But as we all know, there was no saving the lost women. Eventually, the swamp demon at night would show up and try to kidnap another woman, but quickly Tanjiro was already there. His movements sharp, his movements quick. It's as if he's a different type of demon slayer. Every single demon slayer around there, or every single demon, seems to be now fearing Tanjiro as he steps through. The swamp demon was just the first one to know. The swamp demon would be cut down effortlessly with such ease that, well, frankly, it's just astonishing that Tanjiro is this newbie demon slayer that he just started out. He would immediately slice through the demon using his sixth form, Solar Heat Haze. It's a clever attack where the sword strikes enemies while making them believe that the blade is yet to hit the mark, so the demon couldn't even react and pop into a portal. He was able to just instantly kill the demon, and unfortunately he's unable to gain the trinkets or save really anybody else, but he's able to save one girl that was going to be captured, but he's able to save her before she's fully captured. And in terms of Nezuko didn't really need to come out and fight by any means, but luckily enough, well, Tanjiro was able to handle it with relative ease. With that said though, someone would finally arrive. The arrival of Kanao. Kanao was a different type of demon slayer. Kanao was someone that was, well, the apprentice of Shinobu, the insect Hashira, but Kanao had something called flower breathing. And Kanao would tell Tanjiro that he needs to go to the Hashira mansion and follow her immediately. And as she says this, she would look to see that there's a demon standing next to Tanjiro. She would take a swinging toward the demon, but immediately he would block the sword and kick her leg out. But Kanao would back up and immediately get in a stance to fight, But as they're about to fight, and as Tanjiro is about to protect his little sister, the crows begin to caw out insanely fast and begin to say that both Tanjiro and Nezuko need to be brought to the Hashira mansion without being hurt. And they repeat it over and over again. Kanao puts her sword away, and Tanjiro looks at her pretty sternly and asks her to never take a swipe at Nezuko ever again. Nezuko would shrink back into her box as Tanjiro would pick it up, and Kanao wouldn't really say much more, but because Kanao doesn't take orders from anyone else. But Tanjiro would obviously still be pretty cordial with her and actually be pretty nice overall. It was just that one moment that Tanjiro was kind of worried that his sister would get hurt. I mean, he is a very protective brother at the end of the day. So he wants to make sure that, that doesn't happen again. And as they arrive at the Hashira mansion, there was a lot to speak about and a lot to do. And the conversation would start with the capabilities that Tanjiro has. And this whole conversation would continue on and on and on about what he's capable of, what he could do, and just how he's gotten so strong. And Tanjiro would tell them everything. He has nothing to hide at the end of the day, but the reality of it was shocking to everybody else. The reality that, Tanjiro learned from Yoriichi himself is something that many of the Hashiras did not believe. They thought he was lying. But Giyu Tomioka would know that this would be the truth. He would learn this from Urokodaki, but on top of learning it from Urokodaki, he knew Tanjiro was not one to lie, especially not the way that they're saying he is. Very few of them believe him. Maybe Giyu, maybe Mitsuri, and maybe Shinobu, depending on the circumstance. And of course, Rengoku is skeptical, but Rengoku is pretty interested at what he's capable of. And the one Wind Hashira, Saname, would immediately step up and tell him that having a demon, though, is against the Demon Slayer Corp's rules, and would tell him that they need to kill her now. But of course, Tanjiro stands in front of his box, and he refuses to let his little sister get hurt, and he would begin to go strike for strike with the Wind Hashira himself. The Wind Hashira would be pulling his punches a little bit, thinking that Tanjiro wasn't that good. But once they started turning up the pace, it was obvious that Tanjiro was able to not only keep up, but he was capable of so much at a young age. Was he a prodigy like the Miss Hashira? No, that's not exactly it. It's true. Tanjiro must have been trained by Yoriichi. Yoriichi himself, the mysterious swordsman that many people know very little about. And even look at Tanjiro. Look on his head. They all pointed out, it looks just like what the books have told them. That looks just like the Demon Slayer mark. And it's said that if you have a Demon Slayer mark, you will never live past 25. And it seems as if Tanjiro has already awakened it, and he's awakened it at such a young age. Tanjiro puts his sword away and says that the next advance of trying to kill Nezuko, he'll grab the box and leave, and he'll hurt whoever he needs to hurt to get out of here. He wants to be cordial and nice, and he wants to be friends with everybody here, but he's tired of people trying to kill his sister. That's his family, and he pleads to them once again to not try it again. And the Stone Hashira would speak up, saying that nobody shall try once again to kill his sister. He puts that on his own honor. And they say that they will wait for the master of all their demon slayers to show up once again, and then they'll deal with it from there. And eventually, Kaguya Ubashiki would arrive, and they would speak on what they should do with Tanjiro and Nezuko. And a confirmation of allowing Nezuko basically in would be made. It would be Nezuko and Tanjiro are basically now Demon Slayers together. Now, this would be completely fine. Tanjiro doesn't even want her to fight necessarily, but if that's what it takes for them not to want to kill her, that's fine with him. But Ubashiki would more or less tell him that he wants him to train here with the Hashira, with whatever his choice of Hashira, whoever he wants to train with, it doesn't matter. But he wants him to train with one of them and continue his training with, the spirit of Yoriichi. He assumes that the spirit of Yoriichi only comes out when they're truly training together or truly training, so maybe this would be for the best. And immediately, the Flame Hashira Kyojuro Rengoku would step up, saying that he will help train Tanjiro and that he will help mold this Demon Slayer into the best of them all. A smile would grow all over Rengoku's face, and Ubuyashiki, the master of all the Demon Slayers, would say that would be just fine. And if anybody else wants to chime in and help the young boy train, they'll go right ahead. And of course, some of them would be interested in training with him. I mean, even arguably the Wind Hashira would be interested after the battle they just had. And it would be beneficial for all of them to train with Tanjiro just because of how strong he seemingly is. And this mark on his head, they need to learn how to obtain it as well. Because at the end of the day, that's what needs to occur. If they're able to get this Demon Slayer mark for themselves as well, this may era in a new age of Demon Slayers, and there may be a new chance and a new journey for all of them to take down Muzan for good. And Tanjiro says that his goal is to murder and kill Muzan himself to take revenge for his family, and he's going to make sure that everyone is safe along the way. And he tells them that whatever missions he needs to be sent on, whatever he needs to be taken up, whatever tests they need to take him on, go right ahead. He promises that he will not disappoint. And it's as if all of them now see Yoriichi behind Tanjiro, as if now behind him, but now it's as if he is him. They're seeing glimpses of Yoriichi within Tanjiro, as if Tanjiro himself is evolving as they speak. And Kyojuro Rengoku says that he's excited for their training. And that's exactly what occurs. The Flame Hashira and soon the Sun Hashira begin training more and more and more. And eventually, though, an emergency would be heard, an emergency about this forest that many Demon Slayers are dying at. It seems like there's a ton over and over again are dying. And of course, it actually has to do with one of the lower demons, the lower ones of the 12 Kizuki. So, of course, Tanjiro would ask if they want him to go along as well, in which they don't see anything wrong with that too. They're going to send the Water Hashira, the Insect Hashira, and Tanjiro on top of that. When Tanjiro would arrive, he would see that a couple of the demons are killed, but it's actually because of this other Demon Slayer that's currently there, but even he's struggling to a certain extent. It's a Demon Slayer he's never seen before, one with a boar mask, but luckily Tanjiro is able to cut everybody free and kill multiple of the demon's family, eventually leading him to Rui. Rui, the very last demon he'll have to kill, and Tomioka stands there. And as Tomioka stands there and kills Rui himself, Tanjiro nods his head. It seems as if Gyu Tomioka is absolutely insanely good, just like he last saw him, maybe even better. It was a swift, very, very swift defeat of all the demons there. It's as if once he got more hands on deck of stronger Demon Slayers, it was easy. But the question of more or less weaker Demon Slayers joining in and getting in, well, is a pretty big question. And Tanjiro would even bring up later on when they arrive back at the mansion, healing up and basically curing everyone else of their sickness and their poison, meeting Zenitsu and Inosuke truly for the first time. He does bring up the fact that he did kill every demon in that forest when they were fighting. And they're all surprised to hear this, but it's the truth. And Tomioka even thinks back to Sabito. Sabito tried to do the same thing, but he was unsuccessful for the last demon. He was unsuccessful for the hand demon, but Tanjiro was able to do it. Maybe this guy, maybe he is truly the reason that they're going to defeat Muzan in the near future. And the fact is, the spirit of Yoriichi chose him for a reason, so there must be just something to him more than anybody could possibly imagine. But the next mission that he goes on would be with his teacher, Kyojuro Rengoku. With the training with Rengoku, Rengoku has gotten stronger himself, and Tanjiro continued to learn more sun breathing techniques due to Yoriichi being right alongside him. But quickly he's realizing that the meshing of him and Yoriichi is slowly but surely merging, as if he's about to finish and master every last technique in the sun breathing category. But this is perfect. He's able to help Rengoku get stronger and also help himself get stronger. But the next fight will be on the train, the Mugen Train, and this will be Rengoku's and also Tanjiro's journey to set on alone. No Inosuke and no Zenitsu, at least for now. Now, how will this go? Well, you'll have to find out in the next part of What If Tanjiro Was Trained by Yoriichi's Spirits. And if you enjoyed, show some love, leave a like, leave a sub, and leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. And I hope y'all have an amazing day. Later.